Hi guys, in this video I want to tell you about how Aristotle refutes a sophism known as kata sumbebekos in his Metaphysics. Okay, so one of the central concepts in Aristotelian philosophy is concept of essence. Okay, so essence is that which makes a thing what it is, and without it, it would not be that thing. Okay, so for instance, um, like a triangle. Okay, if it does not have three sides, then it's no longer a triangle. I mean, if you, let's say, change the angle, like let's say, you can have different angles in different triangles. So whatever the angle, you can have, like, let's say, a fat kind of triangle, with a which is short, or like a thin one and it's really long, and these are both triangles. They have different side lengths, they have different angles, but they have three sides. So anything, if you don't have a if you no longer have three sides, then you no longer have a triangle. So that's part of the triangle's essence. Okay, it uh, has three sides. So kind of intellectually, when we grasp the essence, we grasp what it is that makes the thing what it is. A bit confusing perhaps, but so essence is that which we comprehend to fundamentally make a thing what it is. Okay, so that's what essence is. Now, when we talk about essence, so essence is, like we said, that which makes it, which is essential to a thing by nature, and something that's not is called an attribute. Okay, so, uh, you know, like for instance, your eye color, your skin color, your hair color. These are, they're not essential, qualities of you as a human being. Like if you, do not have sort of, green eye color like I do. You have a different eye color while you're still a human. Like if you, if you are, you belong to Homo sapiens, but you're not essentially required to have a certain eye color to be a human being. Same thing as you're not required to have a certain hair color to be a human being. Because human beings can have different eye colors. So, anyways, the sophists in ancient times came up with this paradox. Okay, so let's say you uh, you learn how to play a musical instrument. Okay, so music to some extent, and then later on you kind of really enjoy music, but then you kind of feel like you want to check out painting, and you go to painter school and you learn how to paint. So you become a painter. So you are a musician who also knows how to paint, right? So far so good. So you became a painter, and then you became no, excuse me, you became a musician, and then you became a painter. So far so good. So this form of judgment, okay, the one we are dealing with in this case is A is B, right? Um, John is musician, John is painter. And you kind of have to keep in mind that this type of judgment is true if reversed. Okay, so A equals B also implies that B equals A. 2 times 2 equals 4, and 4 equals 2 times 2. 2 times 3 equals 6, 6 equals 2 times 3. Just as valid either way. Now, here's the paradox. Uh, there is an implicit temporal kind of aspect to it, so you kind of have to keep it in mind. So if you're saying, um, musician became painter, it's just as true that a painter became a musician. Think about it. So, you know, we said that John learned music before he learned how to paint. But since we have A is B type of argument, ancient sophists said that it's just as true to say that uh, you know painter learned to play music, even though we said that he learned to play music before. So in some sense, this concept of uh, you becoming something kind of doesn't make sense anymore. Like we say that you were something before you were it. It's like we say that a thing that came later on in time came earlier in time. So that's what the paradox is about. So kind of we can't say that something uh, became something else. That's what this paradox is all about. And here is how Aristotle solves it. Okay, so he talks about something as being kata sumbebekos, which means being accidental. Okay, so um, Aristotle says that being a musician and being a painter is not, the same kind of attribute as, let's say having sight or having a nose. Okay, because if you do not have sight, if you're born blind, it's a privation. Okay, so at the beginning of this video, we said that concept of essence, matters for Aristotle. So, you know, um, being a musician and being a painter are not essential attributes. Like if you don't have them, it does not mean you suffer a privation. Okay, so these are not essential, necessary attributes of a human being, and that's why Aristotle says this paradox uses faulty logic. Okay, because it makes a faulty assumption that he calls it kata sumbebekos, kind of, making an unnecessary, making a non-essential attribute seem like it is an essential attribute. And you get paradoxes if you do that. So that's how he solves it in his metaphysics.